Imagine this, two guys walk into a restaurant. One arrives in an imported SUV, shiny watch, perfume that screams for attention. The other shows up in a regular car, plain t-shirt, head down, calm. The waiter greets the first with a big smile, while the second goes unnoticed. At the end of the night, the one who looks rich pays with a credit card, installments. The quiet one pays in cash and still leaves a tip. The biggest difference between the two isn't the car or the style, it's the plan. One lives for appearances. The other follows a real discreet, almost invisible method that turns salary into wealth without becoming a slave to other people's opinions. Today I'm going to show you the secret, almost illegal method that those who truly get rich use to multiply their money without becoming a target, without drawing attention, and without living a fake life, disappear from the radar. The first thing you need to understand is this. Those who are seen too much are judged too much. The more you show, the more expectations you create around yourself. And the more expectations, the more pressure to maintain an image that's expensive and gives you nothing in return. You know what truly rich people do? They disappear from the radar. They don't get into ego battles. They don't join barbecue circles to brag about their assets. They don't feel the need to justify where they invest or why they don't switch cars. They have enough money to live well, but there's no need to prove it. And here's the play. You don't need to look poor to stay off the radar. You just need to stop playing the appearance game. Those who walk clean live light. Those who walk discreet live in peace. While some people are killing themselves to show what they have, the real millionaires would rather no one notice. The secret of the first step is this. Be invisible without being miserable. Be strategic, but not completely faded out. And that takes us to the next part of the method. The silent mistake that sinks more people than debt. Looking rich before being rich. Looking rich is expensive, but the most dangerous part isn't even that. It's that most of the cost doesn't even show up on your credit card bill. It's the store that charges you more just because you walked in wearing designer sneakers. It's the restaurant that quietly adds extra fees because you've got a flashy watch. It's the mechanic that bumps the quote by 30% because he thinks you won't even notice and have money to spare. Sounds like an exaggeration? It's not. There's a study from Yale University showing that people who appear wealthier pay up to 40% more for the same services than those who don't look rich. This is called the invisible cost of vanity, and it doesn't stop there. Those who look rich also become targets for scammers, for collection agents, for that relative who only shows up when they need a quick fix. You know the type. Meanwhile, the more discreet guy pays the real price of things, not the inflated one. He lives free from judgment, from neighbors, from family, from the world, and he accumulates in silence. That's why the second step of the method is clear. You are not obligated to show anything. You are only obligated to build. And those who truly build, they don't have time or interest in showing off. Now we're getting into the most ignored part of this whole game. The impact of talking too much. Because what you say might be sabotaging you without you even realizing it. There are people who talk about their plans as if they've already started and done everything. Oh, I'm starting a business. I'm going to invest next month. Now it's going to happen. I've decided. But we know it won't. You know why? Because talking gives a false sense of progress. There's even a study from New York University showing that every time you share a goal, your brain releases a dose of reward, as if you had already accomplished it. The result? You relax, and you start sabotaging your own plan. And there's more. When you talk, someone always shows up to plant a seed of doubt. Are you sure that's going to work? That sounds risky. I don't think that works for me. And the worst part? That doubt often comes disguised as concern. But deep down, it's fear of seeing you go further than them. People who actually build don't announce anything. They act silently and let results do the talking. So here's the deal. Talk less, do more. And when someone asks, just smile and say, I'm handling some things. It's all good. And move on with your life calmly. Now let's talk about the most common trap for people who start earning more. The cursed lifestyle inflation. Some people start making more money and think they've solved life. Salary goes up? Time to change cars. Did a freelance gig? Let me get a new phone. Got a bonus? I'll book a family trip and rent a beachfront house to prove I've made it. But then what happens? The person stays broke, just now in high definition. Look, this is the name of the game, lifestyle inflation. Income rises and expenses race to catch up. And the person still thinks they're evolving. But in reality, they just changed cells, but are still in the same prison. Meanwhile, the one who holds back, keeps their standard, controls the excitement, and invests the extra at the right time. He understands what most people ignore. Getting rich isn't about spending better. It's about spending less and putting what's left to work for you, not to inflate your ego. If you've increased your income and kept your lifestyle the same, congrats. You're doing what over 95% don't have the courage to do, and that's exactly why they don't get rich. But you have a real chance. And if you haven't increased your income yet, relax. Because the next step of the method is exactly this. Automate your growth, even with little money. Most people work the whole month, just to see the money come in and leave on the same day. Now ask anyone who's built real wealth. What do you do with your money as soon as it hits your account? I guarantee the answer will be very simple. I invest first. And this isn't motivational talk. It's a system. He gets paid, and before paying any bills, he's already sent a portion to his investment account, automatically without thinking. Instead of letting the money sit there waiting to be spent, it already goes to the right place before any impulse kicks in. And then over time, the game flips. The guy no longer needs to remember to invest because his own system takes care of it. While he lives, his money grows. Tony Robbins, Warren Buffett, David Bach, they all say the same thing. And they're giants. The secret isn't saving what's left after spending. It's spending what's left after saving. That's the difference between someone who's always putting out fires and someone who's planting money trees every single month. And if you understood that, congratulations. You're ready for the next level. Choosing where to invest and escaping the traps that drain your wealth. There are people who think getting rich means accumulating stuff. New car, latest phone, $400 sneakers. But there's a huge difference between someone who buys things and someone who buys cash flow. The truly wealthy don't spend on what shines or what looks nice. They invest in what brings returns. Their money doesn't go toward vanity. It goes to assets, things that put money back in their pockets. Stocks, real estate funds, automated businesses, rental properties. That's real investment. Meanwhile, on the other side, there are those who keep changing cars to impress the neighbors, maxing out their cards for the next trip. You know the drill. But we both know. Appearance doesn't pay bills, doesn't create return, and only distracts. So write this down. It's not wrong to spend. What's wrong is spending on useless things that bring nothing back. While most people put money where it shines, you put it where it multiplies. And that's why, to close this method with a golden key, we need to understand the final rule that discreet millionaires follow in silence. Never waste unexpected money. You know, the 13th salary, that bonus from work, or even a pix from a freelance gig? That's where you prove whether you're building or just enjoying the illusion of progress. Because most people, when they receive extra cash, immediately think about spending. They go back to that Shopee cart that's been full for 2 months and buy it all at once. But those playing the right game do something different. They use that money to cut the line. If they're in debt, they pay it off. If they're in the clear, they invest it. If they've got vision, they reinvest in what's already growing. Because that money isn't part of your routine. It's a shortcut, a fuel boost, a turbine to get you to financial freedom faster. And the way you use what's left over says everything about where you're going. True wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you respect the money that comes in. And those who respect it build silently, patiently, unstoppably. And if you made it this far, congratulations again for the 3rd time. Because this wasn't just a video, it was a map. While some are flaunting on Instagram, you're laying bricks on your legacy. No audience, no permission, no noise. This is your game.